to shape, and then you'll be left with that. So that's that, as quick as that. And I'm going to do the same thing what I did for the other. Steel ruler, any ruler will do, but I use a steel ruler. Forget about the lines that you've been making. Cut up to the box, not past the end of the box, but just up to the box, and do one there, and one at this side. I find it difficult to do the top side, so I turn them around and do each side separately, because I'm not clever and I'm not very agile anyway. So, and I'll do this, and then what you do then is just mould it inside. We've done all this before. Push it down with your bone folder, what I call dry moulding. And the same on the other side. I'm going through this quickly because it must be getting a bit boring now for you. And then while it's like that, you can cut off these end bits because they're not needed on voyage. So pull your ruler right up to the, I'll try and get it in shot for you, right up to the sides of the box. If the box looks bent, it's okay, because the box probably is bent. Don't worry too much about that, because you're making the paper fit the box, not the box fit the paper. So I'll cut them two end bits off, they're not needed. There we go. And the same on the other side. And we're just about nearly finished. There's not much more to do apart from gluing up after this. Take that bit off. And that bit off. And there you're left with it. That arrangement. And then take the ends out, the sides out, sorry, because the sides go in last, remember. And then shape the ends so as you get that little thing. You could probably go down the lines, but if you look, the lines are on the outside of the box now. They're on the outside, so they're no good. They'd go too far over, and we want to be on the inside of the box, so that we don't have any cutting to do. It's just to save you marking up and things. The paper will do it all for you if you let it. So bend the top in like so, and then lift it out, because you've already got a moulding for that end. Lift it out and you'll see a little line across there. That's the top of the box. And then bend the ends over, sides over, lift it up and push these ends in. You can't hurt it, you're going to glue it back in again anyway. So, and that will leave you a nice little moulding to cut with. And if you look now, you can see there's a little line there. Just see the line, there's even a shadow there. And what you can cut it now if you want. You should cut it with a ruler, but I'm going to cut it by eye. And you do the same on the other side. Turn it over. Bend the end in. It will fold over on its own naturally. Just help it and push it over. And there's your corner. Push the end out, and there's your little mark. Yeah. And it'll fit quite nicely now and go inside the box quite nicely. And then the ends come around, obviously, fold over and fold in as you want to go up. But that end's finished now. This is all done now. I'm just showing you this. but the end is actually finished. If you've got any raised sections like that, little lumps, just take a little bit off the ends, not too much. You can always take a bit off, you can't put a bit on. So there's a little bump there which we're not going to need. But then push it and you'll see it goes in quite nicely now. Well, it's better than it was, but if you take too much off it will spoil it. So then that's all, as much as I took off. You'll get the hang of it as you do it a couple of times, it's not too difficult. And we'll do the same with the other side. Over the top, I'm doing this quickly because I'm going to be running out of time otherwise. Lift it up, turn it over, push it in. There's a natural fold to the paper which it'll get, and there's your little mark there. You can see the mark, and the mark's on here. Cut down, same on the other side. Push it over, natural fold, push it in, lift it up, and that's where we're going to cut it, just there. You can forget about the pencil lines, they're not what we're after. And if you look now, it goes right over on the inside of the box, it's just quite nice. If there's a little bit of overlap, it doesn't matter. It'll get taken up by the paste and everything, and it'll flatten in. If your paper's not too thick. If your paper's thicker, you'll have to be a bit more accurate, but if it's not, it doesn't matter. So that piece is okay, that one's okay, that side's okay, we don't take any off there, and we don't have to take any off that one. So now it's just a matter of gluing up. And I use a little board sometimes I just use the edge of the table, but nothing too technical. I hope you can see this, I'm trying to get in shot for you. Get my trusty glue out and knock my lamp down. I had the glue resting on the lamp to keep it at an angle. I've got a precarious angle on the lamp and I had the glue resting there holding the lamp. And me brush. I should have had this ready, but there you go again, it's not professional, see. Okay, so you do the outsides first, ends first, and then the insides. Be a little bit sparse with the glue, and I've just took this brush out of water, so there's going to be a little bit extra water in this, so it's going to take a bit longer to dry. It's going to bubble up a bit more and take a bit longer to set. Move that out of the way. I hope you can see this okay. So that's where I want to be inside the line. I put that there so as you can see what I'm doing. Push it in, bend it over, bone fold it. Push the ends in. You've got time to mess with it. I'm just hurrying up for the minute, but you've got time to work it and take your time and make a really good job. The more careful you are, the better the box will look, obviously. But there we go. Make sure there's no bubbles in. Don't work the paper too much because it will break this paper if you're too harsh with it. It softens up quite well. It's only foolscap paper, coloured foolscap, and it won't take too much of a bashing. I'll leave that there. I'll put my plank on. That's it. You can see that better. Yeah. A little bit sticky, but I can manage with that. it should glue a little bit better this time. If I haven't got this right, I'm going to have to redo it all again. But I'm doing several boxes, so it doesn't matter. So I haven't got it right, I'll redo it. I don't usually put a lot of thought into making videos. I aren't very good at most things. Push the end in, unfold it. That one went in quite well. Sometimes the ends go in better on one side than the other, I've got no idea why. Just sod's law of averages, whatever. I hope you can see that okay. My lighting's not very good, I do apologise for it. But I'm going to get another LED light. I like LED lights, they're quite good. And they hold the colours and everything. At the minute I've got an orangey looking lamp at this side which isn't all that good. And the LED lights are giving me all. I've got one daylight light, 6500, and the other one's an LED light. I don't know what thingy that is, but seems quite good. It's giving me most of my light. Yeah, just make sure that the end's going properly. I know they're only boxes for putting your soaps in and things like that, and you don't have to be too careful, but presentation's everything. And if you made a nice box, there we are, that's one bit. It's that bit done. You've seen all this before, I know. I'm just finishing it off so you can see the box completed. Do this quickly. You can do both sides, but I tend not to, because the glue can dry out rather quickly under these lights, and you've got to re-glue it all again, so it's just wasting time, so I might as well do one at a time. Okay, let's do the other side. See if I'm still in view. Yeah, I'm terrible for going out of shot. I should be more of an angle here so as you can see this. I should be over to the left. Yeah. Okay, that's me finished with that for the minute. Once I've done this, all it remains is to put the base in, and that's another box done. And you can imagine doing a dozen of these, can't you? So you can see there are quicker boxes to make than this, but they're not. I don't think they're as pretty as these. Some of them are not very pretty at all. But these are, for what they are, and the manufacturer of them, I think they're quite pretty. But they still take a little bit of work. Yeah, just go around and finalise everything. 1mm card is not. 2mm card is wonderful to work with, but 1mm card is not all that great. And it's the paper that you put on that gives it the strength once it's all on. If you press too hard, it will buckle. Okay, so I'll just put a bit in the base. I wouldn't have done it this quickly, but I am finishing off. It's just to show you. Put a bit of glue in the base, not too much. Try not to get up the walls if you can help it, because it will show. It will stain the paper, change the paper its colour. Okay, that's that done. Okay. I don't know if you can see that, can you? I'm going out of shot again probably. Yeah, a bit excess of glue there, I'm afraid, because I'm trying to hurry up, but I hope you forgive me. This is just for demonstrations. Obviously you'd make a better job than this, but it's just to show you what I'm doing. You'd have probably got the idea from the first one, but I try and do both of them. There you are. So that's the one. Whoops. A little bit tight because it's a bit what they call them yet, but once it dries out it'll pull it in and shrink it. So there's your box. And while it's in there, it won't stick because this is got cling film on. And then all it remains to do is to do what we did in the last bit, is to fill it up with your little bits and pieces for presentation. And there you go. And I'll just finish off the video by showing you the boxes again, just to remind you what's what. Yeah, I've got everything in the road here. So I'm sorry I'm a little bit slow. I should have got all this ready, but as I say, I'm never ready. Never ready, never ready. I'm trying to work over everything else. And I've stopped trying to say I haven't got a lot of room in here. And I keep saying it. Yeah, so all it remains now is to put your little bits and pieces on that you're going to do and whatever. And your little things for your boxes. Your little things for your soaps. And there's your little things which you get on the internet to make your labels. And there's loads of things for how you make labels and what you do. I mean, you don't have to use my ideas. I mean, there's lots of other people got better ideas and things like that. I looked on YouTube and just took what I fancied, and I altered some of the things, and sometimes I made mistakes, and sometimes mistakes come out to be rather gratifying rather than an actual mistake. But anyway, I hope I've helped somebody, and I hope my video has been of some interest. I showed somebody one of my videos the other day and they fell asleep on me. So anyway, I'll stop there, and hope you've enjoyed it, and I wish you the best of luck with your boxes for your soaps. And thank you very much for watching.